Absolute Tory pricks.
Oh, Jesus, man. You have to warn me when you're actually, like, starting this recording, like, fucking hell. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pokemon Insurgence. We are we've joined remotely this time because of scheduling conflicts and the like. Yep. So I played ahead a little bit, James, in regards to what's been happening on Pokemon Insurgence. But basically, since you left us last, we've just cleared another gym, relieved the leader of its badge, and we are going to move on to a plot area, which is right around the corner, called the Dragon Ruins.
Lovely, lovely. So how many badges does that put us at now?
6 badges altogether.
Lovely.
And we are, of course, down for the Regulation 8. So there's only 2 gym badges left, but that's not the full story, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. No. Especially with these kind of farm games. Like the beating the 8 badges is just like the beginning stages. It's like, now you've unlocked the rest of the game now.
Yeah, much like the other farm games you play, they do try and pack in the kind of the middle bits with a lot of plot. So it's pretty much the same thing here.
Yeah. Like it's kind of, I think we've discussed before on what makes good and bad fan games with this. But everything with the kitchen sink seems to be an approach that a lot of these fan games have tended to go with, which better or worse. No, I thought with Uranium they went way too off the plot at different points.
Yeah.
Now hopefully we're good with this now.
I think there is a difference between kind of like knowing when to stop putting content in, especially when it's stuff that doesn't really work. So if you're putting in, let's just say, plot and characters that don't really matter to the grand scheme of things, then there is kind of no point, you know. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Is often the case.
Oh no, I do love that Buccaneer, I have to say.
Yeah, I will say that that's often the appeal of this game in particular, is just trying out these new toys.
Yeah.
You know, and that's also the kind of the beauty of doing it with the Egglocke rules, is that you basically get access to these pretty much immediately.
Oh, the Delta forms, I wouldn't have wanted to have played it otherwise. Like in the original way, I think you'd be far too they'd be far too rare. At that rate that I think altogether we've seen about 8 of these forms.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I think, like, I know, like, the Axew itself is one that we get naturally from just like from a side quest, and the Scyther is a trade, so we get the 2 of them naturally. But the only ones that like you definitely would never have had a chance of seeing would be the Beldum, the Metagross.
Yep.
And probably the Blaziken, actually, because I don't think there's ever a chance to get them. Like there's obviously, like, I think a post game area where like all of them basically just live on an island together. So that's where you capture the bulk of them. But the rest of them are just kind of like trades and random like happenstance finds in grottos and stuff like that, you know. I think like from what I can recall, I think there's like one Pokemon in particular that has like 3 different Delta forms, and that's genuinely, I feel like that's because they just couldn't settle on what was the best one, you know.
Yeah, no, why am I thinking? No, we already saw there was 2 Metagrosses, wasn't there?
It's Metagross, yeah. Like there's a bug version, and then there's this kind of like rock golem thing, and then it has a crystal variant.
Oh, okay.
Which will come apparent in this session I've pre-recorded.
Lovely. But,
and
like,
again,
wild Sceptiles, like, another bit with these fan games is you get the absolute ridiculous crap like that.
Like it's well, I mean, I suppose it kind of makes sense if you're gonna like put a fan made game in a far off distant land. It might be like Tricos might be rare in Hoenn, but they're not to say they're not common enough somewhere else, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, have we ever had that you can catch starters after the beginning of the game outside of the Friend Safari and Kalos?
The Friend Safari is the only one I'm thinking of. Typically, starters stay as rare as they are, to be honest.
I suppose Alola had the island scan.
Yeah, the island scan is coming to mind as well.
That was the fun in the Poke Madness. The like shenanigans on shenanigans.
Yes, trying to see what we could find.
Yep. So now.
Yeah. But like I said, this is a very good place, obviously, to catch up on levels if you're like falling behind a little bit, which is like often happens in these type of fan-made games.
I would say this kind of caters more with the if you're doing a Nuzlocke in it, like it would kind of have expected you, right? You're going to have lost a few best friends by this point. Let's try to get you another best friend.
Well, yeah, and it's also the quickest way to lose a best friend as well, because like most of these guys do kind of have like explosive moves or priority moves and the like. So
yeah,
you have to be quite conservative in a sense. I think it caters definitely if you are if you're trying out different teams each level, because then because you're going up against things that are egregiously higher than what you should be, then you just catch up on levels immediately. That's why I think I think I took Eevee out for this. I can't recall, but like Eevee catches up immediately once I need it. You know.
Yeah, no, like Eevee is so broken in this game.
Oh, it's 100% broken. So I'm not relying too much on it because like it is a break glass situation. You only take it if you need it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this move here, Wildfire. Now, it's very niche, very specific. It's the type of like move they do now in modern Pokemon, but I believe it's actually a reference to the trading card game, because that is Moltres' signature move, and it does burn everything that's on your bench.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little hat tip. I think.
Will say I've never given the trading card game a go.
I played it a little bit. It's an odd one because there's allusions to the game itself. The mechanics wise are simple if you learned it at the start. But I think if you're coming from like something like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, it's kind of hard to pick up because it almost seems too simple. You know, kind of way.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to. Oh, I guess we have a bit of time to ramble here. Have you ever done the Pokemon Unite? That MOBA game?
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like it is baby's first League of Legends. Is kind of how I've seen it described.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's kind of the attitude that I've got with the Pokemon card game. Is that if you're a fan of them, this is really simple.
Yes.
But
yeah, I think that's a fair shout. Yeah.
But if you like it because it has a Pokemon stamp on it, then congrats, they own your childhood.
I suppose because I remember playing the actual Game Boy version of it, and much like any Game Boy port of a popular card game, it didn't quite get the mechanics right. But for my infantile brain,
I'm waiting for that to come out on the Switch Online.
Yeah, same, because it's actually not a bad game. It really, really isn't. But the music in it is actually really, really good. But like I said, it's one of those ones where I think Nintendo always considered to be Japanese only for some reason. Like there is a second one of them that only released in Japan. Yeah. So I think they just kind of lump both of them together, really.
I'd say there's plenty of a thing that, we may think there's a bit of a market for us, and there's a market as far as the kids go, but wouldn't hold a candle to what the market would be like over in Japan.
Yeah, and that's what Nintendo do well. They do actually see the bigger picture, and then they double down and triple down on that bigger picture until it's shrunk into size.
Oh, look, I have said, I've looked at the way the modern games have gone, and some amount of it is no, some of these aspects aren't for me, or I don't get why they're doing the obsession that they've taken with food in later games.
Yeah.
I don't get the appeal in that, but clearly there's a market for it with some people.
I think it's just seen as a kind of a lower entry, I guess. It's I suppose if to try and be very technical and kind of cater to us, we wouldn't bother with that. But what you do is you kind of make it familiar to people who don't play the series, and then to us, then it goes, oh no, this is actually a very good mechanic for, say, egg hatching or for shiny hunting and all that sort of stuff. So I think it does actually cater to both sides in the end. Particularly in Scarlet and Violet, where if you make a sandwich, you might just hatch 6 eggs out of it. I was like, I didn't realize you could shag that much from one egg, but from one sandwich. But fair enough.
So with the Scarlet and Violet now, just we go through because I think we only get doing these sessions every month or so we get to kind of pick up with what's latest been with this.
Yeah. What's happening here?
Absolutely. Since the last time we were talking, we've still got no further word with the DLC. We know it's coming. We know it's coming. We know that there will be a new region, but nothing really in the last 5 weeks or so have been put out. So we're still kind of so just to absolutely date when we're putting this out. But I will. What was I going to say now? We just recently got the Pokemon Home link up. And I don't know, have you gotten anything off of that at all?
I actually haven't got around to it, would you believe? Because I had some other things on. I actually generally have put on the back burner a little bit. Now, absolutely. I do have intentions of actually using it. Don't get me wrong, but just the other kind of thing where you just got sidetracked by different things. It's like, oh shit, I better get back to doing that.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I always try. Once the game comes out, complete the decks on it. You get a little badge beside the decks to say you've completed this in Hoenn, you've completed this in Hisui, you've completed this in whatever. So signed on, and I have gotten 250 of the 400 available right away on the PC, ready to throw into the Paldea decks. Yeah. And now it's I have the extra 100 to 150 that I'm going to have to kind of meander through and get back again over the next while. And some of it is I'm going to go do the wonder trading, yada 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 yada. But
exactly.
One part of it was we can put some Hisui stuff into the game, and I decided I'm going to try to shiny hunt Hisui's Zoroark in Scarlet Violet.
Yeah.
And dear God, is it tedious. I like the amount of effort that it takes to do.
Oh, stop! I can imagine.
Not worth the effort.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But I always. I was going to say there, I always find shinies to be very redundant anyway. Something. Yeah. I've a low opinion on it, but it is what it is.
They crawling through the cave, the crawling beach or whatever it was called. Or here's a nice easy path for egg hatching. Shinies were very easy to get in that game.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
But it's just not worth it now in Scarlet and Violet. Now, where are we? We've kind of frozen up a little bit, or you're really interested in watching this rock?
No, you may have frozen a little bit there. We're unless you're referring to the Cradily that we just run away from as the rock. I'm just pretty much just going around the ruins and just picking up as many items as I can find. And there's another TM. There's actually tons of actual TMs here. So, I think there's 3 so far, and I think there's 1 or 2 more just kind of floating around. So, yeah, pretty much we're just grinding through certain level essentially, because it is a bit of a maze, and essentially it's it's kind of the long way around essentially, but obviously because of all the kind of the chest high walls we have here, it's a bit hard to pick out the route.
Yeah,
it can be done, but it is very much it's the maximum possible number of steps. So we do end up getting the cost of quite a lot of starters, which is good for us on an XP viewpoint, I guess.
Absolutely. So, which cult are we chasing after again now? Just to remind me.
Well, we don't know yet. Is the thing we got told that there's somebody coming up to the Dragon Ruins and he has a Stunfisk and a Typhlosion. That's all we've been told, I think, or I could be getting my wires crossed. But I think we may have seen Tane walk by. So potentially it looks like Perfection is who's of interest here, which I suppose makes sense because this is the Dragon Ruins and he currently has Zekrom, so he's trying to make something of the 3 American dragons.
Yep. And I remember a few years ago they were the worst things that ever happened in the game.
Oh, how wrong they were.
Oh, just how the turntables.
How the turntables, indeed.
No, because vitriol that they got at the time, and we only needed our original 150. What are the apps with these ice cream cones? And like at this stage now, they're held as being some of the best.
Yeah, it just goes to show you the power of roasted glasses as well, isn't it? Like, everyone often hates the new thing they see here. Anyway, oh, hello, here comes the plot.
Yeah, there's about a 10-year cycle.
Yeah.
Anyway, plot. Moment of his triumph.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's brought in an icy husk to the top of a mountain. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself.
That's the end game right there.
No, there you go. That's a game over, guys. That's it. We're done.
Yep.
What? Insert a new penny to start again. So yes, the latest craze here from the Perfection Cult is trying to make the original dragon.
As they do. I mean, that's not a plot we've ever seen before.
No, not at all. And in fact, no one has ever tried to do it ever again. But yes, it's as what becomes a common trope in this is that basically they just say that Tauren just happens to be the place where all these legendaries have occurred, because it takes credit for the legendary birds in some dialogue, I think, after this, and then apparently the war between the two dragon brothers were raged in Tauren. It's like, okay, take credit for everything then. That's fine.
Wait a second, wait. What was the birds don't have any plot? They Articuno Ultras, they have no plot.
They have no plot, exactly. So they were fair game. Whereas some of them are a little bit like, okay, you're kind of taking ownership of something that's not yours.
Yeah. And I mean, the games all still do that plenty. Like,
true.
Like they're not going to give preference to a region because again something came from there. If it gets in the way of exploiting it out and getting some money right now.
I suppose so. I mean, look at
Zygarde as a legendary. They introduced it. Oh wait, we're not going to do a Pokemon Z. I guess all of his plot just happens to be in
the opposite side of the world, in the Pacific Islands. Yeah.
I do wonder. Oh wait, emerge. Oh shit! Sorry.
The great
got a bit distracted. NameHere. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I wonder why this isn't working. Not just NameHere. Yeah, these cults are not the brightest, are they? Like,
absolutely not.
They get like points for effort and all that, but sometimes like they really do just like shoot themselves in the foot sometimes.
I mean, I don't think there's just groups stupider than Team Slayer.
Yeah, I mean, there's always an extra bottom. To be fair.
Actually, okay, then there you go. What is the worst evil team that we've dealt with so far?
Good question.
So, just you got Rocket who wants money, and like that's fair enough.
Yeah.
This is the end. My only friend. The end.
The end. So now we have a boss battle.
Absolutely. Perfectionist cult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
now.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yes, we are.
Why the fuck do we have a Leavanny?
Well, we don't. This is actually Nora's team. So
I know it's a double battle, but like that, I have tried to use Leavanny in a team before, and it just sucks.
It's grass bug. Like it's just bound to fail. Like there's so many weaknesses,
4 times weaknesses across the board. Like,
yeah, absolutely. It's just a terrible idea all around. Now, again, the advantage is that Leavanny just basically stays there as a stooge, and then we can actually do the proper damage.
That would make sense if Leavanny could take a hit.
Yeah, which it doesn't.
Yep. Fun fact. Grass Bug was the only type to have 4 times effectiveness in Gen 1.
Oh, that was drawing a blank now who that actually was.
Lovely, there you go.
Yeah.
Down goes Metagross.
That's much better now. It's almost like if you actually bring a proper weapon to this fight, you actually win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But go on. Oh, Armor Zekrom.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it was Parasect. That's what it was.
Parasect. There you go.
Yeah.
Never stood a chance.
Oh God, no, Jesus. Especially like especially in Gen 1 where like everything was weak to was special moves.
Everything was also part poison.
Yeah. That's true, actually, yeah.
It was basically too many grass poisons.
Yeah.
And too many bug poisons. And ghost poison was the only ghost type. So yeah, no, for whatever reason they went all in on the poison type.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
And this might be your first time seeing Mega Typhlosion, I think.
It's fantastic.
And it just one shot of my scissor.
Yep. I mean, I'm not surprised.
And what's interesting now as well is that
your ice steel couldn't hack it against the fire type.
I know, it's a real coincidence that, but no, the interesting thing here is that Typhlosion's ability being Hubris, which is the special attack variant of Moxie.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. So it gets a kill if it ups its special attack by 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, no, by 1. By 1.
By 1 by 5, yeah. You know, the usual. And now, this is where it gets fun, because Flygon has a Mega Evolution too.
At long last.
Yep.
It's always such a missed opportunity. It's going to go down as being such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, 100%.
Like in a game where they were able to focus on giving things megas and giving things spotlight that could have like an extra breath of light put in. They just said they couldn't think of a good design.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, the Mega Flygon is a proper option in this because it changes the Earth Dragon typing to Dragon Bug.
That's interesting.
It is because
that's interesting now.
Yeah.
How much does that help us? Like, does it cover anything, or does it just affect everything neutrally?
Well, it covers covers a couple of things, I suppose. I mean, the biggest thing, I suppose, is that it actually gets rid of your double weakness to ice. You know, so you're not taking as much of a hit from that. Like I would say, the biggest advantage of Mega Flygon actually would be its speed. So, so with Mega Flygon to become Bug Dragon, I'm just reading the kind of the.
It's like Kyurem is the shell of the original dragon.
Yeah.
That's what was left after Esheram and Zekrom split. Grand. Okay, Kyurem, Brave, Black White. Okay, what's Grand?
I think it's supposed to imply that maybe the original dragon is a combination of those 3 prefixes.
Yeah.
That is, I think, what they're trying to imply there.
Yeah.
And you can see there now, that kind of means that Kyurem is, like, if Kyurem is the prefix for perfect, then Kyurem is technically their mascot Pokemon then. Like how we have the Darkrai Colt, Groudon, Kyogre, so it explains why Kyurem is of particular interest.
Oh, you've got Celebi DNA now.
Yep, and that means we have a new like would-be HM.
Okay, so Fly.
It's not Fly. It's time travel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, there'll be all little bits on the map there. There are little space-time distortions. And you basically use Tesseract, and something should come out of it, whether it be a object or an item.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It also means that, say, like if there's somewhere that's currently inaccessible, if you use Tesseract, it might like reverse time in the area, and it means that it's accessible again.
All right. Cool. So can we? I'm guessing we have to use that to get out of the area now.
I thought so myself, but actually, whatever obstruction that was there, now that you've like completed the plot, you can now move on.
You just walk right out. Brad.
Exactly. So to answer your question about the Mega Flygon in this game, by the way, so I was slightly remembering the whole thing. So Flygon itself, right? Its biggest advantage, you'd probably say stat-wise, is its speed and physical attack. They're both the same base stat of 100, and everything else is set at 80. So naturally, it means it's a bit of a glass cannon when it comes to the ice attacks, because obviously if it's hello, this is an example of our Tesseract.
Yeah.
And look, a Delta Pokemon has arrived.
Okay.
That is a.
I'm guessing Dark and Bug.
It's actually Rock.
Rock.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn.
So hilariously enough, actually, Burke might this game technically predicted the Hisuian form of Avalugg. How about that? And if I'm not mistaken, I think it evolves as a Rock Dragon, which is a very strange choice.
But we do have something new for the Egglocke now.
We do, absolutely. So more on that story later on. So Flygon is supposed to be basically a speedy, fast attacker, right? That's the point. But also some of its moves are special, just like like Boom Burst and like a lot of sound-based moves. So what Mega Flygon does, it actually basically completely amplifies the special attack to 140, and then the speed is at 120.
So you couldn't use. You're forced then to. It always has to be Mega, or it always has to not be Mega.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Like there's no situational. Oh, I'm better off not Mega evolving it here. It's stat based means it has to Mega evolve in order to make use out of its spread.
Well, Flygon is basically the Mega Flygon is is pretty much just a sound based Mega evolution. So the naturally with Boom Burst kind of being not necessarily being a signature move, but certainly one that you could argue is top of man's list. So you could, for example, have a Mega Flygon, right? Then its actual ability is called Amplifier. So it boosts any sound based move at 1.25. Oh, more plot.
Oh.
Palace, you say?
Okay.
We don't know where this is.
It's Palace, clearly.
Clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, can't quite make out who they are.
Oh my god, it's you!
Yes, me! It could be literally anybody. Who knows?
Absolutely.
It is a mystery. Seems like a lot of the links, the clips are linked somehow. I wonder why. Oh, hello.
Okay, so the Abyssal Pulse. No, Abyssal was Kyogre.
Abyssal Kyogre, yeah. You have Infernal, which is Groudon. You've got the Persephone's cult that I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'm just trying to remember what the Giratina cult was.
We don't know that the Giratina cult has a name yet.
Ah, okay.
Now I'm trying to remember, but I think I've always called them the Distortion cult. I could be wrong. I don't think they even actually are a cult. They just live in the Distortion world.
That name makes sense as well, though.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wipe your memory. We'll call you.
All right.
Good talk, guys. Good talk. I'm glad we had this meeting.
That wasn't jarring at all.
No, not at all. Moving on now with the plot. So yes, the Amplifier for Mega Flygon is its ability, which means that you could rock out with a combination of Boom Burst, being like the high level it is. You got like Bug Buzz would count that as well. So now you got Bug Buzz with Stab and a bonus. So it does actually make it quite a dangerous sweeper.
But again, now if its base is still preferring physical attack and the special massively boosts when it's Mega Evolved, that means if you're going to run the Mega set, you have to.
You have to press the button.
You have to press that button, which means you're maybe introducing more weaknesses to yourself.
Maybe so, but I think the argument with making it a bug dragon type is to eliminate certain double weaknesses. You know, so
it does, but like let's say you lose your ice pod weakness, but then you gain a rock weakness, for example.
Exactly, yeah, and the flying weakness is now apparent, and like the
absolutely,
like, yeah, and if anything, like you don't necessarily gain that much resistance either. Like you probably gain a resistance to water and grass, I suppose.
Lose stab resistance to fire.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
I was going to say even one nice thing there was the sprite art of like Ben, who has always been 3D sprites as far as we've seen.
Yes,
and it really suits going back to a 2D sprite.
A lot of the Gen 6 ones do, which kind of makes me feel like they actually were meant to be 2D, and then they just went like, oh fuck, we can upscale now, so let's see what we can do. You know, and like I said, it's not a major loss either, because like not since until you really see the Switch do you actually see the potential of a 3D Pokemon game.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You could arguably say like some of the work that was put into the 3DS games was a bit a bit excessive, considering that like if you just kind of gave it 2 years, this is actually what the game you were able to put out, you know?
Yeah, like the move to 3D was always going to happen at some point.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
But there was all like you could absolutely argue should it have stayed top-down 2D but 3D battle effects.
I mean, there's that argument, isn't there?
Except we saw what people hate BDSP because it was exactly that.
True.
So, the internet's never happy.
No. Well, I don't think it's ever going to be the case, to be fair. Give me chapter and verse of when the internet was happy, and I'll buy you $1. Fucking...
July 2016, Pokemon Go came out. We were the closest to world peace we've ever had.
That is actually a fair point, yes, because everyone just went out and played Pokemon.
Yes, absolutely. And then the toxicness set in.
Then Hillary Clinton said, let's Pokemon go to the polls, and she just kind of ruined it, really. Just kind of ruined it. She made it weird. She made it weird, you know? She made it weird.
Absolutely.
Actually, while we're here...
For me, it was whenever a guy in work had like taken a picture of us as a group in the office and then showed like, okay, here's yous and here's a group of 10-year-olds in the park. And just look at the exact same.
They're exactly the same, yeah. He raises a valid point, to be fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So while I'm actually here, right, because I know we've probably skimmed through some of these before, but I will, while we have this downtime on this new route here, I'll show you some of the, share some of the unofficial, well, not unofficial, but the fan-made Mega Evolutions in this game. So the first one I'll propose to you is Poliwrath.
Okay.
The Poliwrath keeps its typing, water fighting, but instead gets the ability of No Guard.
Oh, that's a dangerous one to give.
It is.
Because, like, I don't know if you remember whenever Pokemon Bank was the thing.
Yep.
And whenever they first talked about, okay, here's what, when you have the Virtual Console to Kalos, means anything from the Virtual Console gets its hidden ability.
Gets a hidden ability, yeah, exactly.
But Gen 1 Matchup had a one-hit knockout move.
It did, yeah.
And Matchup's hidden ability is No Guard.
Yep.
Which meant it would have a 100% one-hit KO move. So it was broken as the...
Absolutely. Now, see, this is what makes Poliwrath good, because like it never had No Guard to begin with, even as a hidden ability. So you basically meant that Poliwrath can now do like something like Dynamic Punch at will.
Oh god, that's dangerous.
That is dangerous, yeah. So what else then we have is Marowak. Marowak is another one that has a custom Mega Evolution, and it's a Ground Ghost.
Well, that sounds a bit familiar.
It does. It does indeed. And its ability, however, is Parental Bond. Yep.
They would never, ever do something as broken as that again.
No. That, like I said, this is the way you can tell that Insurgence was around the time of X and Y. Because some of the abilities and some of the ideas are just around from that time as well. We know about Eevee. We know about Typhlosion because we've seen it already with its ability of Hubris. Of course, the Johto starters get some as well. So Meganium has one as well.
What does it become? An extra big punching bag?
It actually becomes a Grass Fairy with Magic Bounce.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yep, so it's a very defensive option, I suppose. If you wanted to tank something, that's your option. For Alligator, I suppose, is the most mundane of the lot, but it's also the most logical. It has Tough Claws, and it stays Water type.
Yeah, like, for Alligator, it's always easy to figure out. Like, it's uncomplicated.
Yep, exactly, and that's what we appreciate here in this house.
Yeah, it has what, Torrent or Strong Jaw?
Sheer Force.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But it has simple abilities. It knows how to use them. You're not going to get too much more than go kill it.
Yep, absolutely. Then we have.
Whereas in order to use Meganium correctly, you can't. Like I'd said, it was the playing that crystal was the only time I blacked out against a trainer battle.
Yeah,
was using Chikorita.
Yep, like Chikorita just fundamentally was the wrong answer in that situation. Sudowoodo gets a Mega Evolution in this game.
Okay.
It becomes Rock Grass with the ability of Analytic.
Rock Grass and Analytic. That's a weird matchup, but it's like its whole gimmick is it's supposed to confuse you as well.
Yeah, but it's also that like it is going to be just inherently slow anyway. So once you're going up against something that is somehow not as slow as that, you've got something dangerous there. So Politoed, I feel like we may have come across already, but maybe not. That gets Mega Evolution as well. It's no difference really. It's just Drizzle and Water, so it's a bit of a stat boost really. Sunflora, I think, was the kind of the jokey like gag Mega Evolution. So depending on which one you have, depending on which
the normal or the delta.
The normal or the delta, yeah. So they have ones as well. Basically, its ability is Unleafed, which means that it essentially just gets like a double boost of everything when it gets Mega evolves. But like I said, Sunflora is that bad anyway. All it means is just is catching up on everything else. So who else we have? Girafarig also gets a Mega Evolution, and
so I used Girafarig in Scarlet Violet, and I used Farigiraf, or however you call it.
Yeah,
and I did like it. It reminds you of like Ambipom. In how useful it is. Which is like it absolutely has a value, or you could do without it and not miss it.
Yeah, that's very true. So Girafarig in this case then gets an ability called Spectral Jaws, which means that any biting moves used by the Pokemon are reclassified as special moves and receives a 30% boost.
Ooh, okay. I'm trying to think what does Girafarig have anyway? Like, does it even have the likes of Crunch?
Yep, you get Crunch, and you can all the flavored Fang moves are tutors.
Fair enough. Okay.
And Psychic Fangs, of course, as well, which was introduced at this point.
Oh, okay.
So you get a stat boost between that and is there another? What else is there as well?
Is there an item back next to that Manaphy? That's annoying.
There is.
Not gotten.
Yes, so we need to get the Manaphy ability to get that item essentially. Yeah, I know,
That's
frustrating. So any more I can throw out here? Steelix gets a second Mega Evolution.
That lad talking about a virus that should have people scared. That definitely dates this game.
Yeah, we wouldn't be making jokes like that anymore, would we? What happened?
Actually, I'm surprised there's never been a virus type or not been a virus.
Like a phage type? Yeah, I'm surprised too.
It's considering how diverse they have gone. That a virus mon was never considered.
Also that too, and it's just inherently cool looking. It's basically it has a crystal head. How could you not make something with that? It's a rock poison type, really. Or just general poison. I don't know how do you even start to classify it? I suppose.
Yep.
It's a weird one.
So what did you go for here? We only
So
have
I
the
went,
one.
yeah, I just went for random ones really. Basically, so any kind of like numbers I saw on screen, I said like, yeah, that's a number, that'll do.
Cool.
So Illuminati is what we get.
Okay, before we go into that, I am going to say that's going to be Yamask.
Yamask is what you say, and the correct answer was Chinchou.
Oh, that's far more disappointing.
It really fucking is. Oh my goodness. Could not be any worse. Could not be any worse.
Never like him.
No.
Also, always wanted to like him. Like, what is it? It's water electric, and its ability is either it's immune to water or it's immune to electric.
Yeah.
Like, plenty to love about that.
But it is just a shame that it's just so bad. Like,
it's one that I would classify as they're awful to fight against.
Yeah.
And then they're awful once you have them on your own team.
That's exactly it, yeah.
It's like other trainers are able to use it effectively, but it never works for you.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Could kind of go like, it's meant to be used defensively. So no trainer's going to play the in-game way of it, playing defensively. Which means, same kind of logic as why I hate Sigilif. Because I do not have patience for it. And then I hate fighting it anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And I was kind of saying with a couple of Pokemon that like are really good when I have to face them, but then when you actually use them, it's just like, you know what? I wouldn't even try. What was the one? Gliscor I suppose is one, but then again, like the Gliscor really only gets good with the Poison Heal ability. You know, it's that kind of like just that little niche, and chances are you're not going to have an Ice type move on you at any given time, so that it doesn't get its actual Achilles heel is never exposed.
Okay, Sableye is another one that like it's a prick to battle against because it can set up so well.
Miltank.
Miltank's a great example, yeah.
Miltank, because like it is solely that one moment in time we have to face it as in the gym battle, and you're at that certain level. You're at that certain level where it is such a massive threat, and then it never in its being ever becomes a much bigger threat again, because it pretty much learns all of its cool moves by level 20. Yeah. There was another one. There are actually quite a few I'm trying to think of, and I'm just drawing a blank on them at the moment.
But yeah, no, Miltank is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Where like after that they couldn't have put Miltank any later, or else you'd have a decent counter against it.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
You had to hunt down something to be good against it, or you had to get good.
Yeah, like if you like had the good fortune of going like into the dark cave and like keep like rubbing yourself off the walls until you find somewhere to go, then you might be able to get a matchup. You know, so like, that's certainly the case there.
Or get a drowsy and go to Goldenrod.
Yep, even so, yeah, exactly. That's a good example too.